Let's say you have a bunch of PDF files you want to extract table data from. This could either be 5 files or hundreds of files. Well, one way is to manually copy and paste. But today we have a much better and faster way to do this using Tabula library, our Python programming language. Once we combine the data from different PDFs, we will apply common data transformation techniques like filtering, dropping rows, categorizing our data into different categories, etc. We will be using Tabula library of Python. If you don't have Python installed, it's very easy to install. I will add a link to the video for installation guide. Once we have Python, next thing we will do is install Tabula-py library. You can do that by pressing Windows sign and R. This opens up the run box. Type cmd and press enter, and you should be able to see a similar screen. You can simply install it by doing pip install Tabula-py. If you already have it installed like I do, you will get a message that this is already installed. Requirement already satisfied. Once installed, close this prompt window. We have 3 PDF files in our folder. Let's go through the file to understand the basic structure a bit. So let me open the first file. So each of the 3 files are credit card statement from a local bank. 2 files have 1 pages each. One has 1 page and one of the file has 2 pages. We are only interested in the table information here. That is starts from transaction date, posting date, description, and so on and so forth. Everything else from here to here, we will skip for now. So the file where it says December 2020, this is the one that has 2 pages in it. So it's a similar format. You can see the information from here to here is same. The only information that is different is within the table here. So let's jump to VS Code, create a new py file. So we go to new file, Python file, and we save it to our desired location. I will quickly format the file a bit so I can run each cell separately, just like in Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so first things we will do is we will import libraries. We will import Tabula, OS, and Pandas. Let's do that. To load the list of files in current directory, we will use os.listdir, that is list directory. Then give it a period and it gives all the files in the current directory. So let's do that. We're going to say os list dir, and here we give a period. Put this inside a print. Let's run this to see what our value is. Now you can see it has a lot of files. It has picked the PDF files as well as the Python files as well. Now we are only interested in PDF files, so we either write a for loop or use list comprehension, which might be difficult for new learners. So let's try to write out the list comprehension. Let me comment this out. So the list comprehension starts with a square bracket, and then we use a for loop like we normally do. So let's open a for loop. So we say for x in os or list. So till here it's the same as a normal for loop, but right now this does not do anything. Before the first for, we type x. So we want to tell it what to return. So we want to return x. So let's print it and see if this is working, and it gives us the same result. It means our list comprehension is working. Now let's add a condition at the end. So we add an if at the end. We say if x dot ends with. Now the x has the each file in each of these loops. So we are telling it to filter only those files where x ends with .pdf. Let's run this and see if this is working. And you can see we only now have the 3 PDF files inside of our list. Well, let's save this in a new variable called pdf_files, which we will loop later. So I'm going to the print, add it here. Okay, so far so good. Now it's always best to design your code for one file and then convert it into a loop and go through rest of the files. To access the first PDF file, we can just type PDF files square bracket 0, as Python is 0-based index. So let's check that. Okay, I need to run this again, and you see we have the first file we accessed using square bracket notation, using 0-based index as Python is. Now we will do tabula.read PDF to read the tables from PDF, making sure to mention optional parameters as well. So let's type it out. We're going to say tabula.read PDF. The first argument will be the PDF file, which we have saved here with this file. And we have 2 optional parameters here. One is the pages, which we will make sure to select as all. The second one is multiple underscore table, which we will put equals to true. And we are going to put this equals to a variable called tables. So let's run it and see what tables has. Okay, so it seems like it has loaded all of the tables in it, but it's a list and each list has a multiple table. So let's check the length of this using len. We say table, right? So this has 4 values in it. So our length is 4. It means that this tables variable has 4 tables within it. Now let's add a simple print statement here that will print the length of tables each time. We can use f strings. Let's say f print, open up f strings, and we say this PDF has, and then we open a curly brackets and we put this here, pages. We can also give the file name here as well. So the file name is PDF file square bracket 0. Let's add it here as well. Let's print it and see if it's printing correctly. You can see it says PDF has 4 pages. File name is e-statement April 2020. That is correct. Now we can check each of these tables to see which one has our desired table. To do that, we simply do tables and in square brackets put in the value of the index. So we start with 0. 0 has just a header column. We started 1. There's also some basic information. Let's try 2. And we can see this 2 has our desired table. Now we will assume that our PDF formats are in a similar consistent way. So we will always assume that our desired table is at index 2. Let's create a new variable and put it equals to tables2. So we will say required table equals tables2. So what this will do is each time this will save in the tables2 in the required tables variable, because we don't need the other 3 tables from this variable. Okay, so let's test it on our PDF file which has 2 pages. It was December 2020. Let's check what index it is at. 1, 2. So set first index. So this is 0 index, this is 1, this is 2. So I'm just going to change this to 1 and run all of this again. Gonna clear this and run all again to see if it has successfully loaded the data from the 2 pages. So let's see, and let's open up the PDF second page, December 2020. So one of the transactions at page 2 is 28.79. So let's try to find this here. Okay, we do not see it in our table. It means that our code has not loaded the second page correctly. Interestingly, if we look at the number of pages, it says this PDF has 8 pages. It means that we have one table each for PDF with 2 pages. It's going to be more than 4 tables. This means that our second table is at some other index which we have not loaded. So let's check. So we already know that our first table is at tables2. Now let's check 4. 4 is not correct. Let's just 5. Not again. 6. Okay. So 6 is a jackpot. It means that the PDFs with 2 pages, the second table is at index 6. This means that we need to save the second table for page 2 in cases where we have more than one page in either another variable, or we can create an if-else to concatenate the 2 tables. Since the data type of this is in Pandas data frame, it means we can concatenate them directly using Pandas concat. Let me double check the type of this data. So we can see it says Pandas core frame data frame. So let's do that. Here we are assuming that PDFs with 1 page will have 4 tables and 2 pages will have more than 4 pages. So let's start our if loop. We're gonna say if length of table is greater than 4, then we need to make sure that both tables are being concatenated at table index 2 and 6. So we're gonna say required table equals, we open concat, which takes in 2 data frames and appends them on top of each other. Ignore index equals true, sort equals false. So in this cases, if there are more than 4 tables, we wanted to concatenate the tables with index 2 and tables at index 6. So we're gonna do that, tables 2 and table 6. So what this is saying is if the PDF has more than 4 tables or 2 pages, then automatically concatenate these 2 tables into one variable that is required underscore table. And if this is not true, then just save tables2 in required table variable. Now our code should work for both cases where either we have 2 pages or 1 page. Let's test it just to make sure. So I'm going to clear this and run all of this again. Let's look at the required table. This is a table. The value we were looking for was $28.79. So let's load the data frame and you can see 28.79 is here. So it means that our if else works. Okay, so we have successfully created our code for one file. Now we need to create a code that will loop through all of the 3 files together and save it to a new data frame. So let's open a new data frame. We call it combine_df. Create a new data frame is very simple. So we just say pd.data frame and give it empty parentheses. So let's modify our code so it goes through each file and concatenates data to it. So we start a for loop so we can go through each file. Let me open a for loop. We're gonna say for pdf_file in pdf_files. Keep in mind that you can name this variable anything, but normally it's easier to name a consistent variable. So this is files with an S and this is simply file. So if I just print this, it will loop through each file on each iteration. So let's run this. And you can say for first iteration, it has this file, then this file and this file. So simply going through each file. Okay, so we are going to use some copy paste here. Now I'm gonna start copy and pasting. So we need this to go here. I'm just gonna start copy and pasting and start commenting this out. So we comment this out, it will go here. Keep in mind that this will now be replaced with PDF file because each time the PDF file variable has the file in each iteration. This is done. Now let's copy and paste this and comment this out. This will also be replaced with PDF_file because we don't want this to hardcode to a specific index anymore. Now this is not needed because we already added an if else. So I'm just going to comment this out. And the last thing we would copy is we would copy this if else loop, comment this out here and add it in the for loop. format this a bit. So this is correct. We'll go here, and this will go. This looks good. Now that we have our loop, we want final data frame from each loop, which is in required underscore table, to be added to an empty data frame. We will use concat for this. So let's add a new line here. Our new data frame will be combine underscore df. So we will say pd.concat. We'll just copy and paste this. So we will be concatenating the empty data frame with the result of required underscore table each time. So what it's doing is it's adding an empty data frame and then it's adding the new information on the bottom of it. Okay, let's run the code. I'm going to clear this, remove these commented outlines, and now let's run our code. So you can see this is the first loop, this is the second, and this is the third loop. So this is correct. So we run the code and we can see all works well. And we have our combined data frame and one data frame. So let's look at this using head method. Okay, so we have a lot of extra and useless information in the data frame. Let's fix few more things. First, let's add name of PDF file as a new column, so we can tell what data comes from what PDF file. We do that by simply adding a new column using square bracket notation. We put it equal to file name, which is in PDF underscore file variable. We do this before the final step of combining the data frame. So we will add it here, required table. This will be, we can call it PDF underscore source. Put this equals to. Keep in mind that our each PDF file is saved in this variable, that is make loop. This is good. Now let's run this again and extract it back to Excel and just take a look at what's going on with our file. Index equals false. We don't need the index. Okay, so we should have a file created here. Let's open up the Excel file. Let me format this a bit. So I'm going to select all of it, press Alt-HOW, and I'm gonna say 20, or we can say, yeah, 20 works fine. So I've changed the width of all of the columns. Let me add a freeze here. This is Alt-WFF, and this is our data. Now you can either do the rest of manipulations in Excel if you like, or we can go back to VS Code and do more data manipulation inside of our code. That way we don't have to repeat these steps each time we combine our data using P. Alright, so let's review this file a bit. First thing we see is that the file contains headers which are being repeated in multiple rows. So we can see amount is here, then it's again here, here, and here. And we see that it's in a consistent format. So we will filter out these rows where it says amount column. Next thing is we only need rows where there are actual amounts in transaction columns. So we don't need these, as some of these are comments, some of these are something else. So we will keep a note to remove all of the rows where transaction 1 is blank. So let's go back to VS Code and do that, and then review this again. So we start by making a copy of our data frame, which is usually a good practice. So we don't modify our actual data frame, which we have already combined. And in case if anything goes wrong, we don't have to run all of this code again. For lack of a good name, let's call it df underscore new, and we will say combined df dot copy, and then we'll put empty parentheses, run it, and we have our new data frame. We can check this by doing head, and you can see we have the same data frame. Alright, so this wraps up the first part of the video. In the next part, we will do filtering, dropping rows, and categorizing of data into different categories. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next part of the video.